Okay, so it's about that time of year again, and as we draw to the end of April, a lot of parents with children in year 5 in particular, some in year 4, will start thinking about the 11 plus, what needs to be done, the registration and so on. And so this video is going to give you a real overview of what you need to plan for if your child is in year 5 already. Basically help you ensure that you don't miss crucial deadlines. Hi, my name's Joycelyn Akufo. I'm the Managing Director of Geek School Tutoring. We are based in Beckenham and Catford, and we also provide tuition online, covering the 11 plus, supporting students in Key Stage 3 and GCSE in their maths, English and all through 3 sciences, chemistry, biology and physics. So today I want to talk about the 11 plus process. Now, most boroughs that have grammar schools and grammar schools that manage their own registration process will start opening registrations in May. Some of them open in June, but generally by the end of August or the early parts of August, they all set their own closing dates. But effectively by the end of August, all registrations will close. So if you have a child who is in year 5 now, you need to get ready to register them. Now, generally the registrations are online, but there are some schools that are still doing it paper form. I have no idea why, but generally they're online. So you should head off to the school website. So for example, if your child will be sitting for the Bexley test, go onto the Bexley website and look for something called selection tests. Even though the term that's more popularly used is the 11 plus, for the grammar school exams, they're called selection tests. So you need to, look for that. A lot of boroughs will start putting it on their homepage or somewhere on the main page for schools information, so that it can stand out to parents. But if not, literally Google selection tests plus the local authority you're looking for. So selection test, Bexley and so on. So you apply in year 5 and your child will sit the exam usually in September of year 6. Okay, so it's always a bit heartbreaking is the only word that I can think of at this time, when parents in year 6 get in touch with me in September and they're interested in the 11 plus exams for their children or their child, and they're really thinking of grammar schools. But because they're contacting me in September, it means that generally all the grammar school entries are closed and only the independent school exams are accessible. So if you have a child in year 5, please remember you register for the child to sit the exam in year 5. They sit the exam in year 6, usually in September. So that's something that you have to remember. So independent school exams, generally you could literally apply for their exams just about any time you want. But these days, because they're also predominantly taking registrations online, many of them will start opening registrations around now. Some of them will open registrations in September, and basically their exams are usually in January, but there are some schools, particularly the girls' schools, a lot of the GDST schools, girls' day trust schools, sit their exams in October or November of year 6, not in January. So it's important to start doing your research now. Draw up a short list of the schools that you're interested in. you know, literally, I'm going to put a link to a spreadsheet that you can use where it will just have a column for grammar schools, a column for independent schools, and you literally just need to list down all the schools that you're interested in your child sitting an exam for, and, you know, make sure you know the key dates, the dates for the deadline for registration for each of those schools, and, you know, so that you don't miss them. And I would even put alerts on, you know, you'll put alerts on your phone, reminders on your phone, put it in your calendar as like an event for the day and so on. Try and put the day, the close, you know, the deadline a good few days before the actual closing date so that you don't miss out, basically. So what would happen after that then is that obviously for online registrations, it's usually managed via email. Some boroughs are still sending out, you know, like a letter that has the number, the ID number of your child, and you have to take that piece of paper in when they sit the exam in September. And others, you know, they'll just ask you to print the email. It's a whole mix because, you know, every borough can manage the process the way they want to. And every school, if a school's managing their own process, like Newstead Wood and St Olave's, they're super selective schools in the borough of Bromley. Bromley Council don't actually manage their registration. All the registrations go straight through to the school. So before we carry on with this amazing video, please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so that you will get notified every time a new Geek School video goes up. Enjoy! Okay, so let's look at the detail in the video regarding finding the area of the local authority websites where you will register your child for the grammar school selection test. So if we head over to Google and, oh goodness, terms and conditions. So let's just say we're looking for the Kent test. Kent test. And we just put registration. I mean, they call theirs the Kent test. And so it's quite easy to find on Google doing it that way. But for other boroughs, what you'd really want to type in is something like Bexley plus selection test. And that will give you some options, obviously. And you would then be able to go ahead and register. Now, most of these registrations are not open just yet because largely they open, you know, around the 1st of May time and so on. Now, if you live in a borough that doesn't have a selection test, but you would like your child to sit an exam in a borough that does, for example, if you live in Lewisham Borough and you'd like your child to sit an exam in Bexley, Kent, Sutton, for Newstead Wood or St Olave School, for example, you would need to contact, you'd need to register on the website of the local authority that has grammar schools, basically. And usually it's one exam that enables you to apply for your child to be selected for the grammar school, subject to them passing the exam. But then you have schools like Newstead Wood, which is a grammar school in Bromley, and they manage their own application process. And it's the other school within Bromley, which is not its sister school, it's just the boys' grammar school called St Olave's, also manages their own registration process. So you would need to go on those individual school websites to register there directly, and for some reason the website doesn't seem to load properly from Google. But let's just say, you know, you're on such a website, look for information or admissions. Usually it's admissions. Once you click in there, they usually have, you know, lots of information about the registration. Hopefully the date should be on there now, and so on. So that's the easy way of registering your child. Now, if you intend to register your child for independent schools are private schools, and they basically manage their own admission. So you'd need to register for the exam for each of the independent schools directly. So I'll use Alleyn College as one example, and, you know, literally type in Google like I did, Alleyn College admissions like I did just here in the Google search bar, and then it's entry at 11 plus, and then you get lots of information. And as you can see, we're in April, but registration for the 11 plus exam for 2022 entry is now open, and you would see that the online registration is also open, and they thankfully list all the key dates. You know, there's an open morning planned for the 18th of September. The registration deadline is the 15th of November. The exam is on the 5th of January, and so on. Then obviously different details on the different kind of scholarship assessment days, when the offer letters will be posted, although that's to be confirmed, and then the acceptance deadline, again to be confirmed. I guess, you know, the two will go hand in hand. So that's basically everything. You'd go on the online registration, and then, you know, just follow through and register nice and simply. So that's it, really. Effectively, it's very straightforward to register your child for the 11 plus exams once you have a short list of schools and you know where to head. So that's basically how that works. So you need to have a really good idea of what you're doing and when, so that you don't miss the deadline. So I just thought that I would upload this short video. I have another video coming up which is a lot more detailed, and it talks about the process in a lot more detail. It's a very long video and that one you can watch, but I thought I'd put this one up so that parents do not miss deadlines. You know, some of your children may have been working a good year, 2 years, sometimes even longer already, and the last thing anyone needs is for you to miss the deadline, and it's just a wasted opportunity. So I hope this video was helpful, and please remember that Geek School provides 11 plus tuition online now. So I get contacted by parents all around the country, even in other countries where their children attend, you know, international schools and so on, and they want their child to maybe sit the 11 plus exam and come over to a boarding school and so on. We can support your child wherever you are now. So if you're interested in tuition, head on over to the website geekschool.co.uk and get in touch. My preference is a WhatsApp message, but by all means you can call. We will initially do an assessment just to see what level your child is working at, and I like to recommend schools following on from that, and then we take it from there. So that's it. Thank you so much, and see you on the next one. Bye.